What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a chat about Lorcana. We need to have a chat about Into the Inklands, and we need to have a chat about the most expensive cards, the most valuable cards, phrase it how you will, from Into the Inklands. It's been a couple of weeks now these cards have been available. It's time we start looking at which ones people want the most. We are going to check in with the Enchanted Cards, but obviously the Enchanted Cards are top. We're going to be mostly focusing here on the non-Enchanted Cards for pretty obvious reasons, though we will have a chat about the Enchanted Cards while we're here. I also need to tell you that we are going to be doing at least 2, maybe 3 box openings on Whatnot on Thursday at 7 p.m. UK time. Use my invite code whatnot.com/invite/thewassie. You get some credit, you get £10 credit. You can come and get some packs, basically for free, just pay shipping. And you get to support the channel if that's something you wish to do. Even if you have no interest in buying any packs, just come and hang with me on Thursday. We'll chat Lorcana, it'll be fun. Thursday, 7 p.m. Whatnot. Use my invite code. Go on. Now, in terms of Enchanted Cards, there is still a clear number 1. It is still Ursula. As I sit here at the moment, Ursula is sitting at basically, I'm putting it at a $370 card. It's there or thereabouts. It's a little bit awkward, but I'm putting it at about $370. The second biggest one here, you're talking Robin Hood, which is about $200. They are the 2 big ones when it comes to Enchanted. Now, Peter Pan is a little bit all over the place. It's probably fairly around about a $150 card, but you need to bear in mind there is a misprint of Peter Pan where there's just an extra bracket, and that is really pushing the value of that one up as people want the misprint. So that is skewing the data of Peter Pan quite a bit. But there is a very clear top 2. It is Robin Hood and it is Ursula, and it is because they're absolutely ridiculous. Jafar, that really did seem like it was going to be the biggest one there, has got Jafar to go to overtake Ursula. It's about $165 right now. These are 3 very playable cards, Robin Hood, Ursula, and Jafar. But Ursula and Robin Hood have basically proven to be head of the pack. And in a move that probably shouldn't surprise anyone, the locations are the least sought after of the Enchanted Cards. All the locations are sub $100 right now, looking at TCG Player, eBay, etc. And the cheapest one, Kuzco's Palace, is about a $65 card. And look, I've never pulled an Enchanted. I'm just saying that there are like 1 in every 4 boxes on average, it seems. That's the best data I've seen. And I've opened 4 boxes and not got one. And this isn't the best Enchanted out there, but you know what? You could buy a box and pull one, and it's this. $65 for an Enchanted? It's a location no one's really playing, but that's not the point. It's an Enchanted. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So that's what's going on with the Enchanted Cards. What's going on with the regular cards? Well, we're only going to count down the top 5. And here's why we're going to count down the top 5. Because number 6, you're talking about Perdita, it's about a $9 card right now. What is awesome about this is that the prices of these legendaries, with a couple of exceptions, are really getting kind of cheap. These are not the expensive cards that we've known in other sets and in other card games. This is going very, very nicely indeed. I am a huge fan of this. I hope it continues. And look, Perdita's a fun little card. When you play this character, and whenever it quests, you can play a character of a cost of 2 or less from your discard for free. Helps with all of them there are puppies. But you know what? We've got a clear top 5, and I love it. So there are some Enchanteds, and look, the Enchanteds, like I said, there's no... If I do a top 10, it's just going to be the Enchanted, and the locations are going to be at the bottom. Which ones do you want to be picking up from packs? In at number 5, I'm going for Lucky Dime. Now remember, we've got cold foil and regular versions of all of the cards, so you need to bear that in mind when you're looking at prices. The regular version of this is about a $15 card, and it's a very good card. Now, it's not a cheap card to play, 7 cost non-inkable yowza, but tap it, pay 2, choose a character of yours and gain lore equal to their questing lore value. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Get a character that can quest for 3 or 4, and then you tap it and pay 2 to gain like 3 or 4 lore? Yeah, that's a ridiculously good card. That is one that a lot of people are going to like, a lot of people are going to play. And look, with these legendary cards, you see that it really is the playability that pushes them up. Certainly when you get to the Enchanted, sometimes it is the character and the collectability of it. With this irregular legendaries, it is playability, and you can almost look at this as kind of like the 5 most playable cards in the set. In at number 4, we've got Jafar, Striking Illusionist, which I'm putting very tentatively at about $20. The prices are still fluctuating quite a bit, so I'm giving you my best guess as I record this. Obviously, things can change. And what we've got here is another expensive card to play, 7 cost, but at least it is inkable. And you've got Shift 5, which is nice. But you've got Evasive, which means only characters with Evasive can challenge Jafar, which means Jafar is likely to stay on the board a little bit longer. And you should want Jafar to stay out a bit longer, because during your turn, while this card is exerted, whenever you draw a card, gain 1 lore. And yes, you've obviously got that combo of Whole New World, draw 7 cards, gain 7 lore. This was the hyped card coming into the Inklands. And I'm not saying it's not good. It clearly is a very good card. But I absolutely am saying that it is not destroying the metagame like we may have been thinking it would, which is kind of interesting. Now, in at number 3, we've got Jim Hawkins, Space Traveller, and I'm going to be honest with you, right? Oh, I should say we're putting this one at, just a little bit above Jafar. Let's put it at $22. It's a little bit above Jafar. And this is one that I slept on a little bit. I was not really buying this as a really phenomenal card, but I'm seeing it pop up in more and more deck lists as we go, and I'm starting to think that, well, if you look at the value, look at the deck list it's doing well in, I'm starting to think maybe I slept on this a little bit too much. Regardless, it's a very cool card, and what we've got here is when you play this character, you may play a location with a cost of 4 or less for free. So all those locations that we want to be having a bit of a play around with nowadays, yeah, why not? Have a go. As it stands at the moment, every location in the game can be played for free with Jim Hawkins. Now, I'm sure in the future it will change, and the reason why it is location with a cost of 4 or less rather than any location is to future-proof, just in case. Because if they said any location for free and then they introduce a 7-cost location, this character becomes broken. Game designers doing a good job there of future-proofing the game. Like it. Oh, and whenever you play a location, this character can move there for free. So you play a location with a cost of 4 or less for free, move there for free, start taking advantage of all the cool stuff you can do at locations. This seems like a good one. In at number 2, we've got Ursula, Deceiver of All. Number 1 in terms of the Enchanted. Actually, number 2 in terms of the regular, which I find kind of interesting. Now, one of the reasons for this, and there is a reason for it, you know how I mentioned Peter Pan earlier has a little bit of a misprint? Well, there's a similar thing here going on with Ursula, where the card has been printed as Storyborn, but it's supposed to be Dreamborn. Now, that's interesting because people are assuming that there's going to be a new print where it is changed to be correct. But we don't actually know that yet. And as with misprints, whichever one gets a fewer amount of prints, that is what is actually going to be the rarer one. So it could end up being that the Dreamborn, the new one, is actually the rarer one. We just have absolutely no idea until it actually happens and comes out. So there we go. Right now, as far as I am aware, they've all actually come out as Storyborn. They will probably be corrected later, but we don't know when, etc. So that, if anyone's wondering why Ursula Enchanted is number 1, but the regular's number 2, that's your reason. What a deal. Whenever this character sings a song, you can play that song again from your discard for free and put it on the bottom of your deck. Sure, it's only a free cost song, and the reason for that is because if it was more than a free cost song, there are some more expensive ones that could get absolutely broken here, which would kind of be fun. And yeah, it's just a really good card. You get to play 2 songs or the same song twice, just for exerting Ursula. there are some ridiculous combos. This is good. Ursula, I should mention, we're looking at around about a $30 card for the regular version. And then in at number 1, with a regular version of, I'm calling it 32, just to put it a tiny bit above Ursula, we've got Robin Hood. And this makes me happy and this makes me sad. I went to university in Nottingham. I lived in or around Nottingham for a decade. I adore Nottingham. It is my favourite city in England. And obviously, you know, Nottingham, Robin Hood, you get it, right? Love me some Robin Hood. So on the one hand, it's nice to see Robin Hood getting the love. On the other hand, it's a pretty expensive card, and I want to get a bunch of them. And I want to get the cold foil, and I want to get the enchanted, and yeah. The thing is, Robin Hood is another one of those cards I slept on. I always assumed it was good, don't get me wrong. I never thought Robin Hood was a bad card. I just thought Robin Hood was a pretty good card. I didn't realise quite how much the community as a whole would love this card, and quite how, how expensive it would end up being. And look, it's got a thing where during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, gain 2 lore, and then when it's banished in a challenge, you draw a card. So you sit there, challenging and challenging and challenging, you banish a whole bunch of characters, yay, you're gaining a bunch of lore while you do so, and then when finally you get banished yourself, you get to draw a card to help get your resources back up again. I love it. I think this is cool. I'm a big fan. I love that Robin Hood's getting the love. I wish Robin Hood was cheaper, so I could buy all the Robin Hood. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these cards. Tell me what you pulled. Tell me what you picked up. Tell me your favourite cards from Into the Inklands. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Good us! Be nice. Oh, and seriously, come join me on Thursday for my Into the Inklands box breaks. We're doing at least 2 boxes, maybe 3, over on Whatnot. Use my discount code. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Lorcana and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.